Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, dear members of the Dissertation Council. So let me introduce myself. My name is Anel Kireeva. I'm Chief Researcher in the Institute of Economics of the Ministry of Science of the Republic of Kazakhstan. Also, I'm full professor at the University of International Business, named after Kinjgali Sagadiyev. By order of the rector dated September 09, 2024, number 07.106301, the permanent composition, the dissertation of the Council in the field of training specialist AD041, Business and Management, was approved by 3 people. In addition, by the Protocol 3, dated April 21, 2025, the temporary composition of the Dissertation Council in the direction AD041, Business and Management, was approved by 3 people too. So let's get started with the permanent composition. So, Chairman Kireeva Anel Akhmetovna, candidate of Economic Science, Associate Professor, Full Professor, Leading Scientist of the Institute of Economics of the Committee of Science of the Ministry of Science and Higher Education of the Republic of Kazakhstan. Kuanova Laura Aybolovna, she is a Deputy of Chairman, PhD in Economics, Head of the Department of Training Certification of Scientific Personnel of the Department of Scientific and Innovative Activity at the Al-Farabi National University. Bekturganova Mahpal Satikulovna, she is an academic secretary, PhD in economics, leading scientist in the Institute of Economics of the Committee of Science of the Ministry of Science and Higher Education of the Republic of Kazakhstan. Nurgaliyeva Kuralay Urazgaliyevna, she is a candidate of economic science, associate professor, vice rector of science at the University of International of Business, named after Kinjgali Sagadiyev. The temporary composition of the Dissertation Council is the following list. Sansesbayeva Galiya Nurimovna, Doctor Science of Economics, Associate Professor, Department of Management at the Al-Farabi Kazakh National University. Rab Navas Lotki, Foreign Scientist, PhD, Associate Professor, Haley College Commerce, University of Punjab, Lahore, Pakistan. Yelshibayev Rahimjan Kumbetkulur, Candidate of Economic Science, Professor, Educational Program of Economics at the Narhos University. According to the attendance list, of the 6 members of the Dissertation Council, there are 6 members, and there is a quorum. I hereby declare the Dissertation Council meeting is open. On the agenda today is the defense of the Dissertation Council in the dissertation work titled Just Employment of the Republic of Kazakhstan in the Condition of Modern Global Challenges, Priorities and Mechanisms. This work submitted by Buйтек Э.К for the academic degree of the Doctor of Philosophy, PhD, in the specialty AD04101 Economics, was conducted at the University of International Business, named after Kinjgali Sagadiyev. This dissertation is prepared at the Department of Finance and Accounting. The dissertation is being defended for the first time. Scientific advisors: Kaliyeva Saule Augambayevna. She is a domestic scientific consultant, Doctor of Science of Economics, Associate Professor of the Institute of Economics, Committee of Science of the Ministry of Science and Higher Education of the Republic of Kazakhstan. Second advisor, Vaso Lasla. He is a foreign scientific consultant, PhD, Professor, Sichuan Eastern University from Hungary. Official reviewers: Yeshpanova Dinara Daurumbekovna. She is a candidate of Science of Economics, Associate Professor, Almaty Humanitarian Economic University. Sagidolda Nagima. She is a PhD, Associate Professor at the Narhos University. So, the domestic scientific advisor is here. The foreign scientific consultant is here too. Official reviewers are present. Does anyone from the dissertation council have any comments on the agenda? Do you have any comments? If you don't have any comments, we can start. Does anyone have comments? Okay, thank you. So there are no comments. Let's vote openly the agenda. So the agenda was approved by all. Next, I will invite the academic secretary of the dissertation council, PhD of economics, Victor Ganova Mahpal Satikulovna, to present the doctoral students' personal file. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Anel Ahmedovna. Let me introduce information about the doctoral student Buйтек Эльвира Казбек-Кызы. Буйтек Эльвира Казбек-Кызы was born on August 11, 1990 in the city of Almaty. In 2008, she graduated from secondary school Lyceum number 24 in Almaty. From 2008 to 2012, she studied at the Kazakh British Technical University, receiving a bachelor diploma in the specialty finance. In 2014, she graduated from Kazakh British Technical University with a master's degree in specialty finance. In 2019 started doctoral studies in the specialty 8D04101 economics. Experience 2022 to date senior lecturer, business school, London School of Economics at Kazakh British Technical University. 2022 to 2023 senior lecturer, faculty of accounting and audit, University of International Business. 2021 from 2021 to 2022 young researcher, member of the research group of the Institute of Economics of the Committee Science, Ministry Education Science, Republic Kazakhstan, the state project of the MES RK, AP 09260584, restructuring of the employment of the population of Kazakhstan in the conditions of socio-economic tension. 2022 senior lecturer of finance and economics, School of Management and Economics, Narkhoz University, Almaty. 2012-2014 research activity at Kazakh British Technical University, Almaty. From 2019 to 2022, she studied in PhD at the University of International Business with a degree 8D04101 economics. The dissertation work was completed at the Department of Finance and Accounting at the University of International Business, named after Kenjigali Sagadiev, on the topic Youth Employment of the Republic of Kazakhstan in the Conditions of Modern Global Challenges, Priorities and Mechanisms. The topic of the dissertation was approved by order number 0108 or R, dated October 31, 1219, and changes were made to it by order number 230 OR, dated March 12, 2020, submitted for defense on the basis of protocol number 9 of April 4, 2025 of the extended meeting of the Department of Finance and Accounting and the University of International Business, named after Kenjigali Sagadiev. Based on the results of dissertation work, 17 scientific articles were published in the amount of 11 printed sheets, including 8 articles in the journals approved by the Committee for Quality Assurance in the Sphere of Science and Higher Education of the Ministry of Science and Higher Education of the Republic of Kazakhstan. One article in the indexed International Scientific Journal, Quartile 1 in the Scopus, and one article in Web database of Science, and 7 articles in the collection of materials of the International Practical Conference, 2 foreign and 5 Kazakhstani. In the personal file of Buйтек Э.К, all necessary documents are registered in accordance with the requirements approved by the Committee for Quality Assurance in the field of Science and Higher Education of the Ministry of Science and Higher Education of the Republic of Kazakhstan. Thank you, Professor Anna Lihmetovna.
Okay, thank you, Makpal Satikulovna. Now, I'm giving the floor for the PhD applicant to present the content of the dissertation of work. Буйтек Эльвира Казыбек-Бекызы, you have got about 15 or 20 minutes to show us the key of the research of your dissertation of work. Thank you.
will be the need of making projections about opportunities of working conditions for workers, for employers. And the next slide will be about opportunities. But before, I would like to stop on some interesting facts that 65% of graduates that we have nowadays will never work in the specialties that we the professions, that we have nowadays. And 50% of job places will be automated by 2030. And the skills and competencies that are gathered nowadays will be actually only for 4 years or for 2.5 years after completion of higher education institutions and vocational education. Next one is opportunity intent to ensure YAS employment, taking into account technological trends. So here in this table is given the changes that can be faced by employers and employees in job offerings for young workers and young professionals' work demand. So the main special attention I would like to put on lack of alignment Generation Y values with the need and preference of employers. Thank you. Next. So provision number 4, it is a set of priorities and mechanisms aimed at ensuring sustainable and productive YAS employment. I wanted to start from principles of productive and sustained YAS employment that is given in this table, like social labor inclusion, sustainability, security, safety, labor productivity, and social partners that will have the content and effect of realizing these principles. And based on these principles, next, I would propose to pay attention on the main points of priorities, like providing practical experience in actual sector of economy, implementing obligatory employment of graduates on a regulatory basis, and providing financing 50% by employer and 50% by employment agency. And in the highly shortage industries like farming, medicine, education, science. And the next point is very crucial for scientific potential of our country, for our YAS, investment in science and education, and providing transparency of allocating scientific grants, for instance. Vacancy databases, develop common job vacancy information database for YAS. Yeah, we have these platforms, but it would be correct way to unify and include not only conventional tools in this platform, but include AI tools in order to prognose the future needs, in order to make career projections. They are even contracting online, concluding contracts with employers online, and getting positive the feedbacks related to their skills needed and where they can take this education, which universities, for instance, and giving maybe some qualification certifications. Monitoring, tracking key indicators of YAS employment by focusing on the vulnerable group of population, for example, socially disadvantaged groups, rural area students, and long-term job seekers in regular basis, in order to see the performance and make the measures. Social activities, engaging YAS into social activities, volunteering, developing cultural and spiritual levels. Next. And the mechanisms will include the state policy of employment. Next column is how to do it by job support schemes, tax benefits, digital initiatives, and via State Digital Kazakhstan program, setting up IT hubs. Developing digital skills that will include IT education, STEM education, at the base of Alatal Creative Hub, for instance, Astana Hub, like example. Support for the platform economy, freelancers activity regulation, social guarantees, and that will be applied by developing self-engagement, tax breaks of platform organization. Remote and continuing education, so the online education support by using the platforms edX, Coursera, for example, Atomic and learning platforms, and flexible forms of employability that will be the legalizing freelancing, encouraging remote employment via expanding programs for decent workers and digital nomads. Next. And the last one is very interesting. This is a career constructor. It's a fundamental tool for professional development of graduates of vocational higher education institutions that will be for the conditions of modern labor market transformation. So the career constructor will take the start from national qualification framework that is a systematic and structured description of level of qualification that will include 8 levels. And that this idea of this constructor is facilitating career self-identification, including selection of specialties, skills needed, and identify making analysis on the expected level of profit by choosing some employers for their profession, and formalization with employer requirements and labor functions, and defining adaptation tools at the early stage of their working time. So here, due to which I would like to propose the career modeling academic discipline that should be implemented in the educational program that will make the trajectory of professional development for 5-10 years by searching different vacancies, compare working conditions by organizations, and defining shortage sectors where this or that professionals in need. So how to realize? Professional development program will include the analysis of requirements of professional standards, qualification characteristics, also the academic materials, and some methodological materials will be included. So different training methods, how to organize. And the last one is outcome. The outcome will be a ready product, ready toolkit that will be act as a guidance tool for YAS regarding changes in the work market and the educational system that can be used for projection and their future professional development. Next. In conclusion, I would like to stop on each point to sum up. Firstly, based on different works of different scientists, we proposed the author interpretation of effective employment, the study of world experience in YAS employment acted as a base for using their institutional mechanism for support, suggesting different recommendations related to development of labor market in regional and national level. Also, there was created the conceptual model of employment, which contains targets, tasks, and principle of realization, strategic priorities. Also, the next point was complex analysis of main features of YAS segment by putting the focus on self-employed YAS, dynamics of distribution of YAS employment by sectors, rate of unemployed by regions, and net category, and special attention was taken to the influence initiatives organized by the state programs. And some problems related to labor market also investigated in this study. So next one. Theoretical model of employee attractiveness created based on 3 main functional components that we mentioned before. And I would like to specify that this model can be used in micro and macro levels that will have a benefit for both for employment policy, regulation, creation, and in order to increase the attractiveness and corporate image of employers in HTTL sector. Next one was the analysis of present and projected tendencies of labor market on the period of 5-10 years, based on the new tech advancement like green technologies, robotization, and so forth. And also that there was conducted analysis, SWOT analysis for platform employment, and holistic mechanism of encouraging the employment has been designed by taking into account the modern technological changes in the context of gig economy, remote and platform employment. At the end, the recommendation was formulated to improve the employability in the job market. Next. Here you can see the implementation arc. I took part in 2 grant projects. The restructuring of employment of population in Kazakhstan in the condition of socio-economic tensions, and transformation of labor source of Kazakhstan against the backdrop challenges of new quality model and scenarios. Everything were proved by publications with mentioning the number of grant projects. Next. Here is the list of scientific papers, and thank you for your attention. If you have questions, I'm very happy to answer them.
Okay, thank you so much. The presentation of the dissertation present is over. So thank you so much for your interesting and full for this presentation, Elvira Kazbek. So Does anyone any questions for the presenter? Please go ahead. Okay, thank you.
Excuse me, can I ask questions in Kazakh or Russian?
Yes, you can. Elvira Kazabek Bugası, it's okay for you? Okay.
Oh, thank you. У меня к вам два вопроса. Первый, в какие причины наиболее значительно влияют на рост молодежной безработицы? Успели, да? Угу. Второй вопрос. В чем по сравнению с традиционными формами занятости? Спасибо.
Thank you so much, Professor Rahimjan. Laura Ibolona.
Thank you very much for this presentation. It was very interesting, emotional in some moments, yeah. It seems that you are so involved in this title. I have several questions, if you don't mind. The first one, according to your statement number 1, yeah, your provision, you give author's interpretation of the effective youth employment, and on your first paragraph you considered the other authors' interpretations, yeah? What is difference of your interpretation? By investigating this question, did you find the other interpretations of the authors? It is the first question. The second question, did you consider the OECD Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development? And as you know, the Kazakhstan, the member of this organization. And this organization has the strategies for youth employment for all member countries. Did you consider it, and did you use it? Or if not, and you showed us the kind of recommendations and what is difference between your recommendation and these strategies. The next question, in your statement number 2, you developed the framework, yeah, the kind of conceptual model. And my question is about, I didn't find the universities, but we know the most young people are concentrated in the universities, and what is the role of the university in this model, and why you didn't consider it? And okay, and last question, if you don't mind. In your statement number 4, you showed the quota wages as 50% of salary for youth, something like this. And my question is about, did you any calculation about the efficiency of this measurement? I mean the economic efficiency and social efficiency, and who on your opportunity is responsible for paying this 50%. If it is government, it must be showed the efficiency, yeah? How, for example, the pieces, the people becoming the more, I don't know, this kind of thing. Thank you.
Laura Ibolona, I'm confused. So how many questions you give? 4? Okay, thank you. 4 questions. So who won the questions? Professor, okay? Mm-hmm.
So thank you so much. I'm very thankful to the committee for inviting me as the external evaluator, the examiner. So first of all, I must congratulate you and also appreciate you, Miss Buйтек Elvira, for your wonderful research work on particularly the youth employment models. So you tested the quantitative model, right? And you applied different variables, including the mediating variables, and this is very comprehensive path model you tested, and you tested the hypothesis of the study using SMART PLS, a PLS, partial least square stratification modeling technique, which is very famous nowadays. And first of all, I appreciate your effort because your work is very comprehensive. And actually, the, the outcome or the takeaway of the research is the practical implication, right? So what is the takeaway is very important for the industry, for the government, for the universities. And I appreciate that you more focus in your presentation on the takeaway and the practical implication of the study, right? But this is my suggestion that you miss some of the analysis part, because when you are applying stratification modeling technique, there are different steps. For example, testing the measurement model, testing the path model. In the measurement model, you test the reliability, Cronbach alpha, composite reliability, and you also go for the testing of validity. And there are two types of validity: conversion validity, discriminant validity. And we test in PLS conversion validity construct-wise and item-wise using AVE values and the loading or lambda values, right? So I have not seen these things in your PPT slides, but definitely there will be the in your thesis. But this is my suggestion that in the presentation, you should include all the findings, right? This is my suggestion. Okay. So, but the rest of the things you have mentioned, particularly the path model results, and you also mentioned that your last hypothesis is rejected, right? Maybe it is on attractiveness. Your last, sorry? Source credibility effect on attractiveness, right? It was rejected. So my question is regarding that, what is the justification why this particular hypothesis is rejected? Because you need to justify through the different theoretical and practical backgrounds, particularly in the context of Kazakhstan, right? This is my first question. And regarding my second question, what are the key challenges and shortcomings in implementing of the youth employment program in Kazakhstan, right? What are the key challenges and the shortcomings? Because ultimately, the output of your research is implementation, right? Because this is not the research only putting the thesis or dissertation in the libraries, but you need to give the practical policies for the practitioners, right, who involve in the practical implications. So what are the shortcomings or challenges you are expecting that particularly you are expecting in implementing the youth employment program in Kazakhstan? So this is my second question. And similarly, I have another question. What foreign successful models for training highly qualified specialists allocating grants can be implemented in Kazakhstan? So this is my third question. So I also appreciate that you show the list of publication you publish in very good journals. It shows that you are a very good researcher. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Professor Lothe. So, does anyone questions? Махпал Сатиковна, please.
Elvira, thank you very much for your presentation. It appears that significant work has been completed, and I have 3 questions. The first question, what international best practices in employment are most relevant and applicable to Kazakhstan's current conditions? The first question. The second question was, what structural characteristics and emerging tendencies define youth self-employment in Kazakhstan? The third question, what are the leading and lagging industries in terms of youth employment in Kazakhstan? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maqpal Satikulovna. So I have 3 questions for you. So first of all, based on the youth labor market data, which sector are most affected by workforce deficit? Elvira? Mhm. Second question, what are the major employment challenges facing on the tourism industry of Kazakhstan? And the last one, what are the underlying reasons for enhancing employment branding and attractiveness in the HTTL industry? Okay, thank you so much. So, please, Professor Sanzызбаева.
Спасибо. Извините, я на русском. Английский не очень. Так, это Эльвира. Ну, спасибо за вашу презентацию. Желаю вам дальнейших успехов. Так, в положениях, выносимых на защиту, вы пишете модель оценки привлекательности работодателя. Вот мне интересно оценка привлекательности работодателя, компании, ну, скажем, клиентов, потребителей. Каким образом это связано с занятостью молодежи? Пожалуйста, подчеркните. Спасибо.
So, only one question, yes? Один вопрос, да? Пересекается. Как два? Два, окей. So, we have 15 questions to the applicant. While the applicant is getting ready to answer of them, let's hear the opinion of the domestic consultant, scientific advisor, Doctor of Economic of Science, Associate Professor of the Institute of Economics Committee of Science of the Republic of Kazakhstan, Kaliyeva Saulea Gambayevna.
Уважаемый председатель, уважаемые члены диссертационного совета, я очень кратко на английском языке зачитаю свой... Я включила. Уважаемый председатель, уважаемые члены диссертационного совета, я очень кратко на английском языке зачитаю свой отзыв. Он положительный, потому что, как отметила уже в своей презентации Буйтек Эльвира, она занималась не только диссертационной работой, она еще и была привлечена к реализации грантовых проектов Института экономики. Их было несколько, и вот она в своей презентации это отметила. Я хотела бы сказать, что на самом деле ей было опубликованы труды как в журналах как СОН, так и в Скопус. И, в принципе, в своей работе не только по диссертационным исследованиям, но и в грантовых проектах в рамках своего диссертационного исследования были получены положительные, интересные результаты, которые были внедрены в практику и в теорию вот экономической жизни. Ну и очень коротко я тогда зачитаю свой отзыв. The dissertation under review tackles a significant economic issue that has become residually relevant in today's rapidly evolving socio-economic landscape, particularly concepting the challenges faced by young individuals in the labor market. In Kazakhstan, characterized by a developing economy, there is an urgent need to identify strategic priorities and devise mechanisms aimed at changing young employment, especially in light of prevailing global challenges. This work underscores the importance of mitigation the precarious employment conditions young people encounter, the RIBE, increasing their competitiveness in the workforce. Central to the work in the development of a concept, the definition of priorities and mechanism for ensuring effective young employment in the face of modern challenges, the formation of a balanced and competitive labor market, and improving the quality of life of young people. A particularly noteworthy dimension of the study highlights the appeal of campaigns to young in the context of modern digital communication. The other used modern methodological approaches and research tools which allowed to prove the reliability of the results. The conclusions of the dissertation contain a number of strategic recommendations. The main proposals include the modernization of the vocational education system, institutionalization of platform employment, development of digital and professional competencies, and formation for flexible employment models, creation of a unified database of graduate vacancies, strengthening the institutional framework governing labor policy. The results obtained have theoretical and practical significances. The dissertation meeting the regulated requirements. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor Kaleva. So, Professor Laszlo, are you here? Okay, so let's hear the opinion from the foreign consultant advisor, PhD professor, Sichuan Eastern University, Hungary, Professor Vasa Laszlo. Something is happening. I think he has a problem with the internet now. Okay, I repeat, Laszlo, I will plan to give the floor for you. Maybe you have the problem with your microphone.
Now, can you hear me?
So, let's go ahead. Please give us your opinion about the dissertation work Elvira Kazabek-Bukize.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay. So thank you very much for inviting me to this public defense of Elvira Buйтек, and grateful to get the opportunity to be her co-supervisor during the doctoral study. So now I would like to share my review on the dissertation. So the present dissertation is dedicated to a pressing economic challenge, which is especially important since modern social and economic conditions lead to the vulnerability of young people due to their low competitiveness. For the developing economy of Kazakhstan, such an agenda challenges the identification of priorities and the development of mechanisms for ensuring youth employment in the Republic of Kazakhstan, and stresses the need of reducing the unstable position of people in the labor market under the conditions of new global challenges. And three, showing a strong grasp of the intricate relationships between the different components involved, the author proposes a set of means to ensure a higher efficiency in promoting employment and create the concept of ensuring employment in the modern economy that defines priorities of state policy aimed at increasing the flexibility of the labor market, developing effective employment, reducing unemployment, and providing social support to unemployed citizens. This will help to ensure an effective employment structure, improve the quality and competitiveness of the workforce, and provide social protection. The research work was logically structured. The author has processed a large amount of scientific and theoretical information and statistical data. Based on the study material, she carried analysis of youth employment in the national and regional labor markets of Kazakhstan and defined significant challenges affected by various factors as disparity between the qualifications of young professionals and the demands of employers, insufficient wages and a lack of social benefits, and prevalence of temporary positions, particularly in the private sector and in seasonal or short-term jobs. A significant aspect of this research is the importance of company attractiveness for youth employment in Kazakhstan, as in the era of smart devices, digital channels, and social media platforms, young job seekers increasingly use the tools to find information about career opportunities and job prospects that make it actual and urgent for youth employment problem. By examining this question, the author defined three key factors influencing the decision of young job seekers in the context of Kazakhstan's cultural landscape: company image, recruitment behavior, and social stability. A strong company image can be cultivated by ensuring that workplace culture resonates with Kazakhstan's cultural values of harmony and respect. Additionally, adapting recruitment practices to align with local norms can enhance employee satisfaction by meeting cultural expectations. Establishing source credibility through reliable and trustworthy channels aligns with Kazakhstan's emphasis on trust, promoting a culture of openness within the workplace. Together, these elements create an environment that honors Kazakhstan's cultural heritage, fostering employee engagement and retention. Furthermore, companies in developing countries like Kazakhstan can enhance or emerging countries can enhance their appeal and reputation by implementing a comprehensive three-pronged strategy. To improve the significance of this section, the author might consider the ways of enforcing this strategy. Methodological part of the dissertation is robust. There were used mixed methods, including general scientific methods of cognition, systematic approach, analysis, and synthesis, particular methods of economic research, economic and statistical, empirical methods, surveys by using the web platform, the services of a professional marketing company, and smart PLS as a data analysis tool for the main part of the research work. The important point that the choice of research methods is specifically described and justified by the dissertation, which gives confidence in the quality of the given work. The conclusion of the dissertation presents a range of insightful recommendations aimed at comprehensive solution of the problems of youth employment, addressing key areas such as receiving practical work experience, introduction of mandatory employment, wage quotas, creation of a mechanism for financing the graduate salary, development of mechanism for transparency in the provision of grants for research work, creation of a unified database and vacancies and for younger specialists, and improvement of the institutional framework. So finally, the present research work makes significant theoretical and practical contributions, offering a comprehensive understanding of the combined effects of factors influencing youth employment in Kazakhstan. The study's findings hold important implications for the government of Kazakhstan and regulators, policymakers that can inform the development of promotional strategies and improvement mechanisms of ensuring youth employment and creating a guide of formulation of favorable labor and youth employment policies in the country. Overall, the dissertation by Buйтек Э.К, titled Employment of Republic of Kazakhstan in the Conditions of Modern Global Challenges, Priorities and Mechanisms to Obtain PhD Degree in economics is well structured, both scientifically and theoretically, and complies with the publication standards set by the Ministry of Science and Higher Education of the Republic of Kazakhstan. On the basis of the dissertation of Elvira Buйтек, it can be recommended for defense and awarding the PhD degree. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Vasa Laszlo. On behalf of everyone to the present, I would like to thank you for this interesting speech. And this is really for us informative and interesting. So we wish to continue our discussions about the dissertation of Elvira Kazbekova. So Elvira, are you ready to answer for the questions? The first questions was from the Professor Rahimjan Kumbekulu.
So the reasons that influence the unemployment level in Kazakhstan. So what are the main factors? That's as I mentioned before during my presentation, we have the different factors that we can include: demographic, structural, and technological. Demographic. So here we have the demographic window problem. So decreasing the birth rate and aging of population. Most portion of about 63% of our the labor force in the market is taken by millennial group. Category of people, and also the aging index based on the information of World Bank, about 31.1%, which means that for each 100 births of babies, about 31 people of older age. So that's the question, a challenge for us. And second is the structural change. Structural, so here we can see the shifts from one sector to another one, for example, from agri sector to trade, commerce, and this observed by the statistical information of the Bureau of National Statistics. And here we have the import substitution policy of Kazakhstan that will benefit industry sector by making shortage of specials in other sectors. And the next one is technological change based on the effect of coronavirus. Most people lost their jobs and lost their possibility to get to continue their works because of automated processes in some manufacturing, some trade and construction and other sectors of economy. And then the second question is, what is the main advantages of platform employment in comparison with convenient type of employment? So the question related to the additional possibilities considered to prepare, create new jobs for youth. For example, it will be beneficial for vulnerable group of population. And in order to start to be financially independent early stage. The platform employment will give them a cost-saving effect and be competitive in global market, not only in domestic market. Also, it will be very crucial in expanding the digital skills. So also mix the education and the working part of their lives, work balance. That is a trend for our youth population nowadays. So these are the answers for your question.
Thank you so much, Elsa. Laura Ibolovna, questions?
Okay. Laura Ibolovna's questions about statement number 1 and the clarification of definition of effective youth employment, whether they have the differences among different authors from domestic and foreign, and my interpretation. So I would like to say that methodological approach is not too different. They have most common criteria, because of why I just took the main criteria that they mentioned as effective youth employment criteria, based on which I formulate my own interpretation. But the common one is like a indicator or the category that will define the level of competitiveness level of national economy that will also contribute to it. So that's like a common one, but if we'll consider each separately, they have a lot of similarities. Talking about the second one, did you consider OECD YAS employment programs? I just specified my relevance of my topic based on the target of sustainable development that will include also YAS employment, that include the providing decent job conditions, that I also mentioned in my work, in my criteria, and also in my definition, even in definition. And here, next question was, okay, framework. Statement number 2, conceptual model. Why most YAS are at universities, right? Working at universities. Interested. Okay, thank you. Very interesting question. In my model of attractiveness of employer, I mentioned that we are taking the age of millennial and Zoomers too, but most portion was taken by millennials, and based on which we created practical recommendations that employers should be should use holistic approach for senior and junior employees, because juniors are mostly concentrated on self-development. They are mostly related to work balance. So this is a question about you, that your question about why they are working, why they are studying, why they are growing. This is their trend nowadays, to be in balance and mix their working life with study, so lifelong learning. So because of why they have the priority in comparison with middle age and with millennial group and higher age people. Because of why we can specify these Zoomers and Alpha generation, that they are different from us. So they have different values than we have. So, and is it the last question? Quota wage, yes, sorry. Quota wages, yes, we didn't calculate the effectiveness of this measure, because it wasn't in my objective, but I took this measurement from international practice that used in German model by financing 50% by state and 50%, but in German model, it was about 50% by interest-free loan of training of employees, or subsidies for their work salaries and so forth. So because of why I just took the international practice as a basis for my this recommendation.
Laura Ibon, are you satisfied with your answers, Elvira? Okay, so let's go ahead. Professor Lotki.
So the question of Professor Ravnavas Lotki. First question is a practical application of developed model of attractiveness of employers' attractiveness. So we can consider the applicability of this model in micro and macro levels. For employers, it will decrease the turnover of employees. Firstly, secondly, it will be that will also save the cost for employers, and also that will increase the profitability, because the productiveness level will increase based on the factors where they have to be focused on. They will work on it and create the recruitment process, the processes and policies for it, and that will also increase the commitment level, the retention ratio. And on macro level, we can specify the using these factors in implementing employment policies, for instance, in creating these documents, defining the directions for labor market regulation, for instance. And also, this tourism in the HTTL is very, how to say, has very good potential for our country also to contribute to GDP level even in this area. We can consider the practical application that will also be helpful for the regional, the country level, and for employers level. Thank you. And the last one, next question. Key challenges and shortcomings of programs implemented in Kazakhstan. So I would like to start from the programs that are organized nowadays in our labor market. So in BEK program, for example, that is focused on creating 995,000 job places. That's like target for the last from the last target, and also contribute and expand the number of small medium enterprises by about 35%. And also we have different implementation programs like first job support, Jas Maman, what else? Silver Age, generation contract. So everything focused on the modernization of education. For example, in the case of Jas Maman, it's about modernizing 180 high educational institutions. For example, 20 vocational institutions, sorry, and 20 high education institutions. Overall, we can say that performance is not bad, but we have some shortcomings. For example, about 30% of applicants terminate within 6 months after applying for this or that program. For example, in the case of first job, they're just terminating after 6 months. Or within these 6 months. 20% of these applicants stay at their current workplaces after completion of their programs. Next one, we can consider that most of programs are volatile and the targets are not fulfilled with only few applicants. And most of programs are oriented on general employment, not YAS employment. And also, I would like to specify the contribution of businesses. So the programs for business and under the industrialization programs will contribute on job creation only for 20%. And after completion of these programs, the most applicants will have the works with lower wages, not the sufficient level of salary. So all of them will create the huge shortcomings that should be solved by different ways. For example, we can make questionnaires before and after the completing the program, for instance, or during application, creating the employment policy. There should be individualized measures or the ideas should be taken for each employer that will require from these employment policies. Okay. Okay. What foreign success training programs from foreign? The foreign experience in training, right? So here we can consider the best practices on Singapore model and German one. German one on providing co-financing of the disabled people. What else? Here we have the providing the free public education tuition fees for highly public institutions. What else? And all the grants allocated should be based on their family income. That is also interesting for us. And dual education is the best practice, the component of academic and practical implication of education. And next one is Singapore is a tuition grant that will include 3-year obligation for applicant who will complete the work. This will be the limitation, but the possibility to finance these programs by 50% by state. and in the highly shortage industries in Singapore, for example, in the case of technology, engineering, for example, or medicine. It was the last question. Okay, and fourth. Rejection, yes. Here we have the values. We have pass values that is given, t value, and t value, p value, and pass values. So based on p value, the result was higher than 0.05. That will make the rejection. But significance is confirmed, but not the supported hypothesis, but the significance will still exist based on the values that is given in provided in the table. But in our study, we just concluded that there will be no direct relationship, but the significance will still exist, that we have also to take into account in formulating our, for example, in the case of the employer, to create their recruitment policies too. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So, please give the answer for Makpal Sutikulovna.
Okay, Dr. Makpal Sutikulovna, thank you for your questions. What international best practice in employment policy can be applicable in Kazakhstan? So here we can consider the employment practices from Latin American countries, or European Union, Asian countries. So that will include tax incentives, for example, public partnerships in career guidance, for instance, and expanding the legal employment, quotas for legal migrants, for instance. So this is also interesting. Or the expansion of self-employment policies we can consider, and increasing expansion of agency employment. So leasing, staffing, outsourcing, and most focus on the marginalized people employment. So these programs implemented in these countries that can be also applicable for our country. Second question, emerging tendencies in self-employment in Kazakhstan. So we can say that tendency is not bad. So even if it's only 22% of self-employed or 4 years, we see the good growth from 478,000, for example, in 2019 from the Statistical Information of National Bureau of Kazakhstan, until 771,000 in 2013. What does it mean? So this can be the effect of state programs related to promotion of small, medium enterprises, business roadmap till 2025 program initiative. Also, Damo Fund providing microloans with financing with the lower interest. Some applications on taxation regulation, and increasing the awareness of population on how to regulate, how to make reportings and paying taxes, for instance, and so forth. So it means that, to sum up, overall business climate is good. Also the expansion of the support for small, medium enterprises, and formalizing informal sector will also lead to increased growth in this self-employed sector. And leading and lagging industries in Kazakhstan. So that was mentioned in my presentation. So that the leading sectors are, we said, trade, for example, it will take about 14-15%. Education about 13%. Then industry about 11%, and the last one was the agro sector. All of them are highly concentrated in industries, and if we'll talk about growth rates in 2023, the highest growth was mostly in public administration sector, also medicine, social sciences. Also, we can consider IT sector too. But talking about lagging industry, the lowest growth was in financial activities and agri sector too, because they are shifting from this agri to trade and other retail industries from our observations. And art and entertainment that I mentioned in my model. Mhm.
Нужно включить. Ага. Thank you, I'm satisfied.
Okay, Elvira Kazbek-Bakaza, please answer for my questions.
Okay. So the question was about which sector is more, in which sector the deficit of labor source in labor market. The deficit sectors, I would like to mention the agri sector and also the art and entertainment, tourism industry. Also, we can consider the water supply, electric power provision in this real estate can be also considered as the deficit industries, shortage of labor sources in our market. Next one, major employment challenges in tourism in Kazakhstan. Challenges I would like to specify the lack of system of controlling and regulating the performance of workforce, firstly. Secondly, the lack of corporate culture and organized the methods of realizing responsibilities and duties, this common one. And low motivation and low productivity level of the employees. And most of employees in this sector have only ordinary education that will limit their professional growth. So, one more interesting fact that only 20% of hotel enterprises are interested in fresh graduates, unfortunately. Only and 80% are not satisfied with academic, their educational background and the preparation. So it means that there will be need of reviewing the educational programs and following the international standards and creating different motivation tools for our employees in this sector. And underlying significance of HTL attractiveness model for Kazakhstan. Why we chose this sector? Firstly, due to shortage in the tourism sector and HTTL sector. Secondly, this can be the Kazakhstani plan of increasing the contribution of tourism industry from 4% to 8% till 2025. And also a strategic plan of Kazakhstan till 2025 to be included into the 50 attractive tourism areas in the world according to ranking of OECD countries. Also can be as a reason why we chose this industry. And by observing the statistical information in deficit industries, also we define that this industry can be interesting and due to less scientific information related to this industry in this age in this sector, that was very interesting to investigate this question.
Thank you so much, Elvira. Please answer for the questions, Galia Nurumovna.
Okay. Galia Nurumovna, you asked the model of attractiveness of employer, how it is connected with employment of YAS. Okay, nowadays, based on the different values of, as I've said before, the older age and the younger gentlemen, Zoomers and others, it was interesting to know which factors can contribute their interest to work in this or that company, which values are most critical for them. And based on our analysis, we define that corporate image, source credibility, and recruitment process are the main factors influencing their employment level and their commitment level. So this model can be also investigated in other sectors too, because we have only HTTL sector. So it means that this job branding was defined based on the theory of Barbaros and Budgin and Kissel that we investigated before we created these factors. So based on these theories, we define these factors and create our model for assessment of attractiveness of employers in our HTTL in Kazakhstan.
Thank you so much. So, does anyone who want to answer the questions to help for Elvira? So this discussions of dissertation is over. Let's go for official reviewers for the applicant. So the official reviewer of the applicant is, I'm passing for the microphone to candidate of Economic of Science, Associate Professor, Almaty Humanitarian Economic University, Ешпанова Динара Дауренбековна.
Спасибо за презентацию. Я вкратце скажу. This dissertation is formulated in accordance with academic writing requirements and is distinguished by its logical structure, consistent presentation of material and scientific style of exposition. The text is written in clear and accessible language, which facilitates better the understanding of the research conclusions. The language is of high quality and highlights the high level of academic training of the candidates. Minor stylistic feature of the presentation do not detract from the overall academic quality of the material. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dinara Daurenbekovna. Let's go ahead. And so let's hear the opinion of our second official reviewer, PhD, Associate Professor from the Narhoz University, Sagидолда Нагима.
Спасибо большое. Я тоже вкратце зачитаю свою рецензию. Relevance of the topic. The research aligns with national scientific objectives and state program. Conducted under two state-funded projects, it addressed critical issues such as labor market instability, digital transformation, and youth retraining. The candidate proposes a sustainable employment model reflecting digitalization and social mobility challenge. The dissertation contribution labor relations theory and practice. It introduces a new definition of effective youth employment, conceptual employment model in the new economy, and model assessing employer attractives, a career constructor tool for graduate professional development. The candidate shows high autonomy with a well-structured thesis, deep literature analysis, original approaches, and publication in peer-reviewed journals. Objectives are fully aligned with the topic. The structure is logical and coherent. Candidates' recommendations are relevant to Kazakhstan's socio-economic conditions. Scientific novelty. All key finds, definitions, models are new and supported by publications.
Original methods and applicable solutions are proposed for both public and private initiatives. The research employs advanced methods, factor analysis, PLSM, wearable data. Findings are the dissertation offers practical recommendations, including co-financing of wages and a digital employment platform and employer attractiveness assessment tools and yes, labor market adaptations measures. The dissertation maintains high academic standards with clear, concise, and professional language. Key finds are published in reputable journals, including Scopus indexes ONS. And conclusion, the dissertation meets all academic requirements, and the candidate deserves to be awarded the PhD degree in economic under the program. Thank you for attention.
Okay, thank you so much, Sagidolda Nagima. Elvira Kazabek-Bıkızı, please go ahead and give your feedback of your official reviewers. Thank you. You can stay here, you can sit, and you don't need to go there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, dear reviewers, dear colleagues, dear dissertation committee. So I would like to thank you for the time that you spent on listening my presentation and checking my work. I really appreciate your work and your interest and your questions, comments. Everything was very valuable for me that I can use for my further the ideas that you, for example, Professor gave me. Everything was very valuable for me. I would like to thank you. That I really appreciate your contribution to my work.
So thank you so much, official reviewers, Elvira Kazabek-Bıkızı, and everyone who here now with us. So the official discussion about the dissertation is over. The official reviewers give us the positive feedback about the dissertation work of applicant. Let's move on the discussions. Are there any speakers? Are you welcome? Okay, so we have completed the discussions about the dissertational work.
Nobody wondering that
Yes,
somebody
okay,
could
please.
tell anything. I would like to say thank you to the dissertant. It was very interesting. First of all, the answers of the dissertant was were full, yeah. And as it is just the starting of your research experience, I think that for this level it is a very good job. And again, I would like to tell about the emotional things that it is very good because it shows us that you are very involved of this title and you investigated it and you are able to answer for any questions. Thank you for your scientific advisor and good luck.
Okay, I also would like to congratulate for your successful presentation, and your level of confidence actually tells that you actually did this work, and very, with hardworking, and no doubt behind you there are a lot of efforts of your parents, friends, and no doubt your teachers and your academic supervisor, your scientist, local and the foreign. So I also pass my, the positive remarks to all of them. Thank you.
So thank you so much for everyone. So let's go for our next stage. About we need to go to the secret vote. Elvira Kazabek Dukizi. So you need to go there. And can you go there too? Because we are starting the secret vote. Mahpal Satikulovna, the academic secretary, will take it from here. So let's get started our secret vote through online from the survey of survey. Okay.
So I have sent it to everyone. Please confirm if you gave received it. Я всем отправила. Пожалуйста, посмотрите свои почты. Сейчас. Да. Нет, нет. Да. Все, отправляю. На почту вашу. 2 почты указала. То, что Эльвира. Dear professors, 9 people award a Doctor of Philosophy degree on the dissertation of Буйтек Эльвира Казбек-Бикызы on the topic Youth Employment of the Republic of Kazakhstan in the Conditions of Modern Global Challenges, Priorities and Mechanism, submitted for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy according to the educational program 8T04101 Economics. Congratulations.
Okay, okay, thank you so much. So let's have, we see the results of the secret vote, that we can see that 9 votes is positive, and we support Elvira Kazbek-Bakazy. And according to the board members, the reviewers, let's go ahead. And we see all good with voting results. Everyone of who sit in here is agreement with these votes. Does anyone have any questions, maybe some negative? No. Thank you so much. So after the secret vote, the dissertation council of the Kinjigali Sagadiv of the University of International Business in the field of AD 041 Business and Management has agreed to recommend that the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, PhD, in the specialty AD 04101 Economics for Буйтек Эльвира Казбек-Бakazy. And from me, the big congratulations of this dissertation defense. And I wish you, Elvira Kazbek-Bakazy, many good luck in the future. I hope we will see your future interesting research. And we know that you you have very big potential for the future scientific research. I know you're scientific consultant. I know that you participate in the scientific grant funding of the Institute of Economics, and that's why we wish you good luck. Thank you so much. And maybe you have any, okay.
Okay. Thank you one more time. Thank you for your time and your support.
Thank you so much, Elvira Kazbek-Bakazy. Please don't cry, because you was very beautiful, and Elsa, your speech was really informative. Thank you so much. And I good luck the big future for your future projects. And of course, for your scientific consultant, Vasla, and thank you so much, official reviewers. Thank you so much. Professor Yishpanova, Professor Sagidolda, Professor Sansizbaeva, Professor Rahimjan, Saule Gambaevna, Professor Lodhi, Makpal Satikulna, Laura Ibolovna, Professor Nurgalieva. So we wish you the good luck. I think it is really good that you have 9 supportive voices. Thank you so much. And I'm closing the meeting of the Dissertation Council.